Hi friends, this is Elizabeth, the Good Grief Coaching Girl, and I am so excited that you guys are here today. This marks the 30th anniversary since my late sister went to heaven, Becky, and it's also our 30th produced video, and we are wrapping up season 1. I cannot believe it, but I will let you know that this is going to be a wonderful 1-hour segment. A little bit of info though. I invited you into my Becky garden, but because of the California fires, I need to let you know that we are not going to be able to have it in my Becky garden, so we brought it into my studio. And if you know me, I always have a plan B in my pocket. So that's our plan B. So get ready, get comfortable, get a good cup of coffee, and make sure that you're comfy because we have a fun agenda for you. To start, what I would like to show you is that we are going to be doing a Q&A later in the show. I have some special announcements with gifts, so stay tuned. And also, we're going to be doing a live interview with some of my late sister's very close friends and family. But if you have questions later in the segment, please go to hashtag GG Good Grief Coaching Girl Live. So it's GGCG Live. And that's how you can go ahead and use some questions, or you can go to our social medias as well. So again, buckle your seatbelt, get ready, because we're going to have a lot of fun. A little bit about me to introduce myself. My name is Elizabeth, and I am the Good Grief Coaching Girl. I started the Good Grief Coaching Girl during the pandemic. It was something that I knew I wanted to do for my community, and I wanted to give back to my community. You see, I am the president of Bereavement Resource Network of Sacramento. It was originated in 1984, and it helps people with grief and resources to that. And because of that, I knew that I needed to find a creative modality to help others creatively process their grief. So I did that. And as I did that, I started having a good time. I'll share more about that. If you follow me on my YouTube channel, you've seen some of my videos with my personality and how that will work. So back to our agenda for today. We're going to have a 15 to 20 minute segment with a moderator talking to my late sister's friends and my daughter. Then we're going to go into a Q&A and then the special announcements. So I invite you to please enjoy this hour, share this, and thank you again for your support, because without you, I wouldn't be here. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. I'd like to welcome my good friend, Dawn Marie Times. Dawn Marie is a distinguished Toastmaster, as I, and we have been buddies for over 12 years. Dawn Marie holds the title of Distinguished Toastmaster, but not only that, she is my soul sister. So with that, I want to go ahead and welcome you, Dawn Marie.
Thank you, Elizabeth, and I'm so excited about being here this morning to moderate with Becky's memory. I have two special guests, as you have noted, that are going to help me talk about some of their memories of Rebecca. I have Alethea Perez, who was a very dear friend of Rebecca. And Alethea, please tell us how you met her.
Yes. Hi, good morning, everybody. I met Becky while we were in preschool at David Lubin Elementary School. We instantly became the best of friends, and our parents, our mothers are also the best of friends. We basically consider the Quiones family our extended family. So we were inseparable, always together. When you would see Becky, you would see me, and vice versa. Yeah, that's how we met.
So, okay, I know that you mentioned that you were really good friends with the family, but in your relationship with Becky, tell us some of your fondest memories of her.
Yes. The few things I remember, I was thinking about that last night. We would, in elementary school, when we probably in 5th or 6th grade, we started making mixtapes for the boys that we liked. We would go over there and just make them. We also Another memory that I had of Becky was that we were in Girl Scouts together. We played soccer together. We would bug her brother, little Larry, to take us places because he drove, of course, and he would take us to the mall. We would go to the arcade, and our favorite thing to do at the mall was to take pictures in the booths, the picture booths. We had tons of them. um, and also in
And I
junior
have
high
class.
school, what came to mind is we loved Lisa, the group or the singer, and so we shaved the sides of our heads to look like Lisa. And then we didn't like it, so we would, oh god, the outgrowth was horrendous, but we would like use clips to put the sides down. um what else? Oh, in high school, I would get up extra early, walk to the Kiana's family house because we lived just down the street, and we would get ready in the morning for high school with makeup and Aquanet and making sure our hair was scrunchy with the gel and um, fashionista. Becky loved to smell good. She loved perfumes, and um, her hair was beautiful. She had natural curly hair, so it was so easy to like do all the new hairstyles. It was so funny. We had such a good time. Such a
I
good
can
time.
only imagine having that kind of a relationship with someone so dear to you. Tell us what is the one thing that you have done to cherish the memory of Becky?
So because when we talked a lot about our future, and we had always said that we're gonna grow old together. You're gonna be the godparent. She was gonna be the godparents of my children and vice versa. So when I finally had a baby girl, I named her Eris Rebecca Perez, and that to me is a huge honor for her. And I always, the kids know about her. I tell them about her. Um, so it's just it helps to carry on her memory.
Absolutely. And how precious is that when you look into your baby girl's face every day, that you can also have that memory of your BFF,
Yeah.
of Becky. So I thank you for sharing that memory with the audience today. And I know that many of us have BFFs that we want to cherish those memories and honor them because they do have a special place in our hearts.
Yeah.
I got a letter from another one of her friends, Nicole, who she couldn't be here today, but she wanted to tell us about her memory with Becky. And she quotes, Becky was a special friend of mine. I remember in the second grade how she taught me through friendship how to stay kind and committed, regardless of the drama. It seems silly now, but it was such an important lesson for her. It was the classic 3A crowd scenario. Becky and I were the best of friends. One day, the other little girl told me that Becky didn't like me anymore and didn't want to be my friend. So, in my security, I rushed to another friend and encouraged her not to be friends with Becky, thinking I needed to build my side. When Becky came to school that day, she was completely unaware of all the mistruths and approached me like any other day with loving kindness. I immediately felt foolish, embarrassed, and regretted how I had so quickly betrayed my dear friend. But the best part was her forgiveness, that it was so immediate, complete, and seemed effortless. She recognized my shame and she comforted me. It was truly inspiring. She says she'll never forget the day she learned of her death. She said, I really didn't know someone could die. I had never experienced death before. I wish I could say I had the experience to understand and comfort myself, but not then. So Elizabeth, she wants to say thank you for giving her the opportunity to reflect back on the memories and the time that she had with your sister Becky and what impact it had on her life and still has on her life today. I can only imagine the kindness that I get from you that exudes from your entire family. So I know it has to be in the genes that God blessed you all with that special kind of kindness and forgiveness. So
Yes.
with that, The next person that I'd like to interview is Danielle, who is Becky's niece, who was a toddler at the time of her being able to spend some quality time with her auntie. So Danielle, tell us, what are your fond memories of your Aunt Becky?
Hi everyone. Good morning. So one of the memories that I have of her is I was about 2 years old and my brother was coming, he was being born and he was in the hospital, and so Becky watched me, and I remember that I was really excited that she was watching me because I loved spending time with her. And we were on the floor together and she let me dump out my toy box, and I just remember just being really excited because I wasn't allowed to dump out the toy box, but she said it was okay. So I was like really excited and I was having a lot of fun. I just remember just being in that moment and having fun with her. And I also remember a memory I have is she gave me a little brown purse, and I remember carrying around that purse, and that was the start of my love for purses.
What a wonderful share. And I can relate to aunties giving kids those special kinds of opportunities to do things that we parents didn't want them to do. So having that kind of a relationship is also special for a niece and an auntie. The other thing that I'd like for you to share is you're wearing something today that really brings some significance to your remembrance of your auntie. Please talk about that.
Oh yes, I'm wearing some overalls in her memory. She loved wearing overalls. Another special thing that we have is we both have a beauty mark on our left side, and she had it in the exact same spot on her cheek.
Wow, wow. So I can only imagine too that when you look in the mirror every morning, you have that instant gratification of seeing a remembrance of how your auntie and you have the same mole on your face. How awesome is that? You know, God does some amazing things when He puts us in place with people and things in our lives that we don't know the significance of it until later. So I'm so happy that you have those memories still, both of you, to be able to reflect on, to help you to carry on the memory of Rebecca. I did not get an opportunity to meet her or know her, but just talking to you two and talking to Elizabeth, I've gotten to see that she was a very, very special young woman. And I know that the angels are rejoicing that she is in heaven with them and being able to look down upon her family and see this special tribute today. So Elizabeth, yes, please tell us about the Becky Garden and your tribute to her today.
Absolutely. I would like to add something, Dawn Marie, about what you were saying, Danielle, and about Becky. One thing that was really significant is that my mother had shared a story with me yesterday that was very special. And what the story is that my mother, when Becky was born, she had a little nursery, and the houses were very close within a driveway apart. And my mother would sing every morning to Becky, and the song that she would sing would be, Becky boo, Becky boo, Becky boo, boo, boo. And when she would sing that song, you know, that's where we get our joy from. It comes from my mama, is that she would sing it with this energy, and Becky would, you know, giggle and laugh and be so happy. And then one day, my mother met her neighbor next door, and it was Nicole's parents, my sister's best friend. And they said, we hear you singing every morning to Becky, singing Becky boo, Becky boo, Becky boo, boo, boo. And I smile at that, and we love that. That is such a precious, precious gift that you would sing to your children. And so I say that to say, Dawn, that it's so special that Mom was able to share that with me. And my mom nickname for her was Boo. So with that, it's just a really special memory. I just want to relish in that for a minute, because I love having this 30-year tribute to honor my sister, but to also see how my Becky Garden has evolved now to be a modality to show others about how you can process grief creatively.
Well, I know that your garden is amazing. It is so comforting, and you feel the presence of the spirit back there. And I am so sad that we're not able to be out there and be able to walk through that garden and see the special tribute that you've done for her. But please tell us more about what you plan to do in the memory of your sister in the garden.
Absolutely. So if I have created videos that are actually on my YouTube channel of my Becky garden and the modalities of creating a therapy through gardens. How this actually started with me is that I was an active mother in East Sacramento, and all of the women would have these beautiful tulips. They were amazing tulips, and I would think, I need to have tulips. So I started exploring with bulbs. They're ugly and just, you know, something you plant in the dirt and you have to plant it deep and then you nurture it and then it grows, right? So with that being said, that was my first experiment in the garden, is planting these tulip bulbs. And then after that, it evolved into tubers, which are my dahlia tubers that I talk a lot about. And then I used my seeds, which are my sunflower seeds. So before you know it, I was able to have this amazing garden.
Amazed at your journey in getting your garden developed as you have, and I've had the opportunity of sharing some of the planting with you, and I'm so excited about what you're going to be offering today to your guests. So please tell us about your gift today.
Oh yes, I will be telling more, and so I'm ready to go back to my regular camera and do that, but right now I'll just stay right here. So this is basically how I am offering. I told you that I would today have an opportunity to share with you a special gift. And one of the things about life is that life is a gift. Being here today is a gift. And being that it's taken me 30 years of processing the loss of my loved ones, some people ask me, how do you cope and why are you always so joyful? Well, I'm always looking for creative ways to find joy. And the essence of my being is to find that joy and to share it with you. So today, I would like to let you know that we do have some special announcements. And those announcements are, one, that we have a special gift. And the gift that I have for you is that I have a website launch today. And that website launch is at www.goodgriefcoachinggirl. And at that website is a little bit about me for you to get to know me a little bit better. But with that, there is a special segment, and this is pretty cool. Once you join our community, you are going to be able to have a present today. And the present is a step-by-step beginner's course on being able to plant your own garden step-by-step. My team and I have been working really hard on this document, and we gift it to you for being part of our community. So go to our website today, check it out, learn a little bit about me, look at some of the videos that we have in our library, and just be aware that as I give this gift to you, I don't give it lightly. It's from my heart. It's taken me 6 months to create this with my team, but we have more to come. So this is the gift. Please join our community, and then you'll be able to see exactly what I'm talking about, but that is our free gift to you. Also, I would like to share that we will be having a Q&A. So if you have some questions that you would like to ask the Good Grief Coaching Girl, let us know. But before that, I want to make sure that I acknowledge Dawn, Alethea, and Becky for coming today, and Nicole for submitting her thoughts, and let you know that it takes a village to do what we're doing. And this is just the beginning, the seeds of planting hope and letting you know that it's okay to talk about your loved ones. It's okay to be able to communicate, because we all want to remember those that have passed, And also remember those that are still with us right now. So thank you, ladies, so much for being here today. It means so much to me, and I love you so much from my heart.
Thank you.
See you later. So with that, I wanted to give you a little thought about where I'm at. You know, a person's spirit lives on with us. Even if they're no longer with us in their presence, the Becky garden, or a garden that you create in the memory of your loved one, keeps their spirit alive. And because of that, it's also a way to have a modality to creatively plan and execute and nurture something. And that's what we're about. We're about giving and nurturing and loving. And so I say that because when I give this gift and launch this website, it's because there are so many resources that we're going to be offering. And because of that, it's so exciting to me. You know, this is our first live stream. We have been working behind the scenes for quite some time. I have an amazing team supporting me, and each video we did has become better and better. And because of that, I say, I don't know where you are having this cup of coffee right now, but I do know that we all need hope right now in this state that we're living in. It's not easy. And I want to share a little background of how I've coped in this pandemic and just how the tenacity of where I am today. So right when the beginning of the pandemic hit, I was finishing my Distinguished Toastmaster. I had to learn how to do Zoom. I was like, Zoom? How are you going to do Zoom? I mastered that. I figured that with the grace of God, and I was able to do that. Then after that, my son wanted to get married. And so then what happened, it was a pandemic. And so Josh said, Mom, can you get ordained and be a minister so that you can officiate the wedding? I said, sure, Josh, let's go for it. So that happened during the pandemic. And then after that, I found a wonderful course that was amazing. And I took that online. It was a 6-week course, and it was basically on Your Message Matters. And everybody has a message. And when I took that course with Pete Vargas, he gave me the ability to know that what I have in my story matters. So with that, I have a little bit more that I want to share behind the scenes. But before we get into our Q&A, I want to give you the reason why my message matters. You see, it was 1995, and we had just recently bought our dream home. My sister had been lost in a tragic car accident, so I was coping with that grief. And one of the things that I decided is that I was going to make a garden, and I was so ecstatic about it. And what happened is that I was working in this garden, and then one day, as I was working, I found out that we had a new neighbor. And the neighbor was the girl that was responsible for the accident that took my sister's life. I remember telling God, I'm your girl. Why would you let that happen to me? I remember thinking, here I have Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and I have to deal with this after the loss of my sister. It was a lot of pain. But you know what happened? It took me 18 months of learning how to process my grief. I remember trying to close my shades. I tried to plant a U-Haul in front of the house. I did not want to look at what the pain that was evoked. But you know what happened is one day God said to me, love your neighbor as yourself. I said, love my neighbor as yourself? Why would you let that? What? And I went within, and I was quiet, and I bowed my head, and I said, okay, love your neighbor as yourself. And it took some time, but I learned the creative modalities to find a way to heal my grief. It didn't happen overnight. It was very difficult at times, but I originally just said, your way, your way. And as I did that, I was able to process my grief. And then one day, the girl's mother was invited over for tea. I asked her to come over, and she did. And I said, I forgive you. I just want you to know that my heart has forgiven you, and I know that it wasn't your fault, and blessings to you. And 2 weeks later, she moved. That is a true story that happened to me. And because of that, it's given me so much freedom to be here today. Yes. So I was like you sometimes, where I wanted to just leave the splinter in. I didn't want to feel the pain because it hurt too much, but I knew that all I needed to do is to let God do the surgery to remove the splinter and start creatively processing it. And that's what I've done. So that's just a little snippet. So keep reminding yourself that we really want you in this community. I can't wait to show you more about the courses and things that we're doing. But in the meantime, now we're going to start the Q&A and just hear from you, because as we wrap up this segment of season 1, season 2 is going to be pretty exciting. There's so many things. Can you believe it's only been 6 months? 6 months, but it's going to be great. And I know that we're planning a retreat for my bereavement resource network in August as well, which is August. I can't believe it's August. And we're really working on different ways to serve our community. So with that, if you're listening and you are interested in collaborating with me, I would love to share on your platforms as well. So please consider reach out to my team and let's collaborate. And most of all, I want to interview you. If you are a healer or someone that works in helping the bereaved, reach out to us. Let us know, because we want to use this platform to blast the community and give resources, because it's work, but it's also very, very freeing and healing. So with that, I've said a lot, but I did want you to know that I have created a creative plan to process your grief. I will be sharing more with you on that, but the gift I give you today definitely has your own personal garden. So go check that out. It'll be in your email inbox, and stay tuned for more. This is just the beginning of great things. So thanks so much for joining me as we get through our half segment here and go into the Q&A. So with that, let's go get yourself a cup of coffee, warm it up, and we will be back in about 2 minutes.
Oh, that spin class was brutal.
And we're back. And I have this tambourine because this was supposed to be a garden party, and because of the smog and the smoke and the unhealthy air, we're inside. So with that, I send my love and my positive vibes to all the people that are suffering right now from these terrible fires, and I ask that we would all send those vibes to help them, prayers to give them safety, because we're all going through so much right now. But as that, I say that, I also know that we're also finding hopeful ways to stay positive even when it's challenging. So with that, I wanted to share with you that yes, a lot of people have asked me about my late sister, Becky, and how I've coped over the 30 years. And I wanted to open this Q&A up with some questions and answers. And I also wanted to get to know you a little bit better. But with that, I also wanted to remind you that in this communication that we're having today, let us know what you want to see, what you want to hear, what is going to help this grief village so that we can also be strong in the community. I can't wait to see where this is going, as I have literally stepped out on a limb and said, let's go. And I couldn't do that without you, because this is about you. It's not about me, it's about you. And so I hope that those people that are on here thinking, you know, life is kind of crazy right now, I want to say, I'm with you. I get it. It is crazy. But you know what? We can work together for good by finding the resources that we need, to get to a new place. So keep that in mind as I'm sharing with you, but I'm going to stop talking because my assistant has been monitoring the feed, and she has some amazing questions that she says have come my way. But you know what she told me? She told me I need to slow my roll. I've had only a little bit of coffee, but the bottom line is that I'm an espresso girl. So sometimes I can get a little bit too fast in my talking. So if I am, my apologies to you. I'm just so excited that you're here. And I'm so excited that we made this happen in the midst of having it in the garden, not having it in the garden. I haven't even told you that we got a new neighbor, and that's a whole nother story that you'll have to check out my video. But with that, let's go ahead and introduce Zaria, my assistant, who will be asking me Q&A questions from our live stream. So Zaria, hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for all your help today, Zaria, and just the team. It is amazing, Z, so thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. We're going to start off with the first question saying, what are your future plans for Good Grief Coaching Girl?
Well, my future plans are pretty exciting. I have been working on my proprietary process for some time, but first of all, we are launching our website, which is today. And that website is going to give you communication to me with the resources that you need. After that, my team and I are looking at, of course, our second series that will be on YouTube, but we're also considering doing some outreach, retreat possibility in the future. And also one of the things that I'm offering is some digital courses that if you would like to go deeper into learning the modalities of creatively mapping your grief, healing your grief, or learning more about how you could use the modality of the garden, those are things that we're going to be talking about. But not only that, you're looking at me today, but it's taken a lot of hard work to get here. I have people that are supporting me and helping me. I've been working with someone to help me process my grief. I've also learned some new modalities. I use acupuncture, exercise. I have a team of people that help me to be able to have the courage to be who I am today. And because of that, I know that I want to share those things with you. I want you to be able to have the ability to find your hope. And man, I'll tell you, this pandemic threw me like to a new level. I was like, what do you mean you can't be with your people? What do you mean you can't hang out with your people? I've done so many different things, and you know I love people, right? So I thought, I need to figure out a way to be able to connect with my people. And so that's how the Good Grief Coaching Girl started. And that's a little bit about me, and we will have more. And I'm so excited, Z, that you've joined the team and that you're here to help us get the message out. And then also, you will also be helping me in getting the other folks that want to be on this platform share their message so that we can get it out to the community.
Wow, I can tell that it took a toll on us. All right, but the next question is, Deb said, love the wonderful memories shared earlier. Do you think the sudden and early death of your sister Becky changed how you viewed and lived your life as a young adult?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I remember my children were very young, and I wasn't sure how I was going to raise them with such a broken heart. But I knew that I needed to create memories, that memories are where it's at. And so I turned that pain into creating memories. And if you know me, when the kids were in elementary school, I did festivals and things like that, bringing the community together. And we will always treasure those gifts because they're memories. So yes, Deb, it has changed me, but it's also given me the value of the precious gift of life and how today is a gift because tomorrow is not promised. And so I use that in everything I do to remember that today is a gift because tomorrow is not promised. So make today count.
Wow. What is your favorite flower?
Oh, that's a hard one. But if you see my logo, sunflowers are up there at the top as far as a seed. I love sunflowers. They remind me of my late father. He was a master gardener, and because of his master gardening skills, he would have amazing sunflowers. These sunflowers were like 15 feet tall. And I think of that, and it brings me so much happiness. Every time I see a sunflower, I think of my dad. But not only that, you got to agree with me that a sunflower, you can't be frowning when you're looking at a sunflower. They're just so bright and cheerful. So that is my favorite, is the sunflower.
Wow. What is your favorite part about gardening?
My favorite part about gardening is nurturing and having hope. Because when you plant that seed, you have to believe that it's gonna grow. And sometimes it's not easy. You're saying, okay, this seed is going, you're gonna put it in the dirt, you're gonna water it, give it sun, and it's gonna grow? Yes, because if you give it the right elements, it will thrive. It's the elements. So my favorite part of gardening is nurturing and making the plan to execute beauty, because once you have that beauty in your garden and you talk to your plants and nurture them and just give them the love, you'll be surprised. It's definitely a great vibe, and it makes me very happy.
What is your least favorite part about gardening?
Well, funny you should ask that. I think this is an analogy. One of the things that I don't like about gardening are the snails. Those snails, you know what they do? They kind of creep up, and they do this in the dark at night. And let's say you planted this magnificent garden and you planted annuals. The next day you look and all the leaves are eaten up. Well, those snails, what they did is they came, creeped up into your garden and ate your beautiful flower. That's kind of like life. You got to protect yourself and make sure that you have good people and you're surrounding yourself with good things, because those snails, they're out there and they want to eat your precious garden that you're nurturing. But the good news is if you tactically and strategically plan your garden, the snails, they won't even be an issue.
What advice do you have for someone who has lost a loved one?
First of all, my advice is that our adversities are God's universities. I remember when I first lost my sister, I got that message. And I remember being so devastated, thinking, I don't know if I can go on. It's too much. It's so heavy. But there are stages in grief, and you have to understand that. And one of the things that I'll be sharing later in my communication through our website and also some of our videos is that I found out personally that when you are grieving, your brain functions differently. And when I found that out, I was so shocked because, you know, I'm creative, right? And so this is what I learned. I found out when you are being creative, you're able to bypass a part of your brain that is sorrowful and use that part to create and to find joy and have happy neurotransmitters and serotonin, all those different things. And so to keep it simple, if you've just lost someone, my condolences. Go easy on yourself. Know that it's not going to be a quick thing where you're going to be out there conquering the world and doing a YouTube or whatever your aspirations are. But if you find the resources, my love, the resources. It could be a therapist, it could be a support group, it could be a creative group, it could be a church. You need the resources, or you can start to be in part of our community as we are getting ready to possibly have that offering as well, where we will have, you know, some availability and also help you refer and find people that can help you process your grief. It's out there, and of course, as being the president of Bereavement Resource Network of Sacramento, you can go to Grief Help Sacramento and you can actually find those resources. And then there are national organizations as well. So check out some of my videos on YouTube under resources if you need help in finding resources.
What is your favorite memory of your sister?
Well, I have a lot of memories of my sister, but one thing that my sister said, she was always worried about, and when I take pictures of her, how she looked. And so one day we were having a 4th of July party and I was taking pictures of her and she's like this on the camera, like, don't take a picture of me. And then we had a video of this and she says to me, Liz, someday I'm gonna go to your house and I'm gonna take a picture of you and you're not gonna like it. And I said, oh, Becky, come on, I just want a memory of you. and I clipped a picture. Not knowing that I didn't have that much time with her, those memories that I have of her are very, very special to me. So I love just having this time. And another signature about my sister Becky is she was always blowing kisses. So I love having, I have in my garden little angels blowing kisses, and it's a definitely special, special love note is what I call it, of Becky.
That's all we have for now, unless someone else wants to ask some more questions.
Okay. Well, again, you can go to GGCG Live to ask your question, and also on Instagram and on YouTube, and we're here for you. You know, one of the things that's really exciting about this is that I wanted to be available. I've been working behind the scenes, but it was time to invite you to my house. This is my sacred space. And right now we're social distancing. We're not able to communicate. You're not able to see our smiles. So I wanted to bring you in to my sacred space to say, let's chat. Let's have coffee. Our team and I are going to be doing this once a month live. And this is going to be our gift. We're going to be having different ideas and segments, and I can't wait to actually be out in the community. I have a couple ideas in my hat, and we're having a team planning meeting in the next week or so, and so we'll see if those things will be available as well. So again, lots going on. I try to stay one step at a time, and so today, you being here and celebrating my late sister Becky, in a tribute to her, celebrating 30 episodes. Speaking of that, I'd like to share with you an update that is amazing. I wasn't prepared, I didn't write this down, but I'm going to share it anyway because I feel pretty powerful about this right now. You know, we have about, I think, 45,000 or maybe 47, I'm not sure, views on YouTube. We have 1,700 Instagram followers, and we also have a Twitter over a couple hundred, and I know that Facebook is also starting, but we need your support. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. If you have not liked or followed me, give a girl a little bit of love, and please just share that with me, because what I am doing is I am trying to open this platform up so that other people that want to share about how to map their grief and how we can help others. But let me share this with you. This is a little tidbit that I wasn't planning on sharing. Grief is not just about loss. Grief is about loss of job. Grief is about loss of a relationship. Grief is about the loss of a dream. Those things need to be processed as well. And I didn't share this, but I'm actually writing a book about grief. And this book is something that I plan to release in the future. But I've had those experiences, not just about personally losing a loved one. I've had those experiences about loss of dream. When I studied communications broadcasting, I thought, someday I want to be a broadcaster. But you know what? God had a different plan. But through the faith, look what He's done today. He's given me that heart's desire. And I thank Him for that, because we all have dreams. So I don't know what your dream is, but have hope. Have hope, because it is possible. And I believe in you. So I can't wait to hear more from you guys. So send me your questions and let me know. And those that are able to communicate and let me know what's going on, thank you. It means a lot to me. Thanks for showing up today. Thanks for being here and just giving me the love and support that I've needed to be able to say, this is your community. This is it. I want to thank some people. I want to thank my right-hand man, Alberto. Alberto has been with me since the beginning, and he has done an amazing job. I can't wait to interview him and share with you his amazing story. I thank Zaria and her willingness to help, Samuel, Dan for his wonderful help, and all the wonderful prayer warriors that are helping me to have the ability to follow through on the assignment that I've been given. So I would like to share that this organization is with also my cousin Debbie. She has been with me since the beginning as well, and I love it. You know, family is everything. And one day we were talking about my grandmother, and she said to me, "Do you realize that our ancestors are rooting us on right now?" And I thought, wow, that is so powerful. You know, it's in the blood. It's in the blood to be able to just have this beautiful community supporting us. And I'll be real with you, last night I was like, okay, do I have it outside in the Becky garden or do I have it inside? It was a plan B, but luckily we had a plan B. So thanks again for joining us today. I can't wait for you to be able to have the gift that I gave you and get inspired. If you have any questions, shoot us some emails. And not only that, check out our courses that will be coming out this fall. And as we get ready for those courses, if you want to take it to a different level, I'd love to help you with that. So this is Elizabeth. I am the Good Grief Coaching Girl, and I am so excited to share with you more of the journey. But in the meantime, I just wanted you to know that Cantu can do, so can you. See you in the community.
All right, Deb.
Network of Sacramento is an organization that was started in 1984, and it was started because we people that were in the service of bereavement, social work, etc., community members came together to find a way to have resources to give to the bereaved. And this organization is amazing. We have had wonderful summits in the past, pre-COVID, and we were getting ready actually to have a large event in our community pre-COVID. We are planning to have some more community events, but the resources there are at griefhelpsacramento.com, and you could actually find those resources there. One of the things I'd like to share is that I wasn't planning on becoming the president of this organization. I actually found the organization when my late father passed away. There was a directory, and this directory has the ability of 200 to 300 resources. And I've used those resources personally. When my daughter lost her fiance and this was in Oregon, I needed a chaplain to go to my daughter immediately. I picked up that resource guide and I was able to go to phone numbers and websites of a chaplain. And this was 3 years ago. And I had a chaplain consoling my daughter within an hour. I was indebted at that time to the Bereavement Resource Network of Sacramento, and I knew that I wanted to serve because of the importance of those resources. So that's a little bit about the Bereavement Resource Network, and that's exactly why I said, okay, I'll be Madam President.
What is your biggest fear?
My biggest fear is not doing what I was made to do. Sometimes we all have dreams and we all have hopes, and sometimes I look at those dreams and hopes and I think, oh, that's pretty bright. And the cool thing about it is that all the time, I have to walk by faith and not by sight. And as I walk by faith, those dreams and things like that, they become, I can do it, and not something that is a fear.
What is your proudest accomplishment?
I would say my family. My family is my proudest accomplishment, and they are everything to me.
What motivates you to work hard?
Well, we're not promised tomorrow. And I am so inspired right now by such a time as this. Who would ever know that we would be having to be masked, having to be socially distanced, shut in our homes? Who would think? So that motivates me to be able to use what I've been trained in to reach into your home or wherever you are and say, take my hand and let's do this together. Don't be alone. Don't be afraid, and know that you can. We can do this together. We can get through this pandemic. We can get through what we are going through right now and use it for a movement. One time my late neighbor said, "You're gonna start a revolution." And I remember thinking, oh, that's a pretty bold thing to say. But I believe that that revolution is happening now and you're a part of it. So can't wait for you to be more involved in our community. Getting a little teary here.
What is your favorite thing about your career?
My favorite thing about my career. My favorite thing about my career is being able to be myself. Sometimes people are afraid to show their true side. They're afraid that they might not be good enough, pretty enough, thin enough, articulate enough. But I say to you, use what you have and the rest will come. And sometimes you need to just be your biggest cheerleader, because sometimes you're alone. And in those quiet, still moments, find your faith and know that you were created like me with a purpose.
If you could change one thing that happened, what would it be?
If I could change one thing that had happened, what would it be? I would say that our adversities are God's university, so I really don't have something that I would change per se. I've learned in my skills that we have to be careful with our words and we have to be careful with our actions because they impact people. So I would encourage all of us to love our neighbor as ourselves and be kind to one another, because we need that right now. And I thank all the people that have been kind to me and that have helped me in my journey, because I wouldn't be where I am without you. And I really appreciate those that have been in my village and continue to be in my village, of course. I'm not going anywhere, we're just getting started.
What is your favorite candle scent?
Oh, I love candles. Oh my gosh, candles are awesome. They're up there with flowers. But I would say that, to tell you the truth, I love hazelnut. Hazelnut, and second would be apple cinnamon.
Do you have any pets?
I do. And a cute story about my pet is that my late father used to call me Darling. And when I got my German Shepherd, I named her Darling, because it evokes a memory, and I love that name, Darling. So Darling is a 3-year-old German Shepherd, and she is my love. She's my support, and I just am so thankful for Darling. And if you get to see her or see some of the videos about her, she has a personality. I'm sure you all have pets too that are just amazing, and those pets bring us joy. So I am so thankful for my Darling.
If you won the lottery, what would you do?
Oh, so if I won the lottery, I would throw a party. And the party would be, say, joy to the world, all the boys and girls now, joy to the people in the deep blue sea, joy to you and me. And it would be a party. I would throw a big party, a celebration that we are able to thrive and survive even in these times. So stay tuned. I guess I'm putting that out to the universe, so we'll see.
What was your favorite holiday vacation?
Holiday vacation? Oh, wow. So I would say going to Hawaii. I love Hawaii. I love the islands. I'm an island girl. I love swimming, water, all those things. We've had family vacations. When my sister got married, my younger sister, Lee, and we all went to Hawaii for her wedding, and it was so amazing. Whole family there. My dad was alive at the time, and we had a blast. And that is my favorite memory.
If you could pick anywhere to go for your dream holiday, where would it be?
Interesting you would say that. My neighbors, like 2 weeks ago, just moved back to Australia. And I have a little friend, and Archie, he just turned 5. And we're some years apart. And I told Archie, I said, Archie, I'm going to come and visit you so that we can celebrate our birthdays in the month of July together. So I have my eye on Australia. I'd like to go to Australia after my neighbor gets settled in her new land. That's her homeland, so I'm sure she could show me a good time. So I can't wait for that, and I can't wait to see Catherine, Archie, and Jonathan, and the new baby, and that'll be fun.
What was your sister's favorite song?
Ha! I love that. So if you've watched my video, my 30th video, check it out on YouTube. My sister's favorite artist was MC Hammer. And MC Hammer had different lyrics, of course, but he would say, you need to pray just to make it today. And he also would say, you can't touch this, dude, go into breakdancing and all that. But he just had this great energy. And I guess we're related because my sister Becky actually named her dog Hammer after MC Hammer. And we had a German Shepherd at a time named Hammer. We would call him Hammer. So that was her favorite artist.
Besides gardening, what other hobbies do you have?
Well, I love public speaking. I belong to a couple of Toastmasters organization. I also love paddleboarding, and I love cooking and praying and reading inspirational stories and spending time with my family. Those are all wonderful things. And serving my community. That's where my heart is serving my community.
Do you have a lucky number?
7.
That's everyone's lucky number.
Well, then we're all the same in some way, right?
We're all lucky.
Right, we're all lucky. Hope you're lucky.
What are your favorite things to do in the day?
Well, I have a very busy schedule, of course, and one of the reasons I'm able to do the things that I do is that my husband recently retired during the pandemic, and because of that, he has been my right-hand man. And so the different hats that I wear and things we do, I own an antique shop as well, Cantu Cottage and Company, and we do architectural salvage and garden art. And one of the things we love to do is hunt for treasures. Other things I do is embellish those treasures, and it's really fun. Just like the stage today, it's just kind of curated and put together, and that's one of my fun pastime hobbies is just hanging out with my family and enjoying life.
What was the best advice you've ever received?
The best advice I ever received. I think the best advice that I've ever received is that you need to know where you are to know where you are going. And so I say that with love in my heart, because as I'm sharing about grief and life and where we are today, I invite you to take reflection of where you are and then make some goals about where you want to go. And if you do that, you'll be able to navigate and make those goals and meet those goals one step at a time.
If your closest friend was here, how would they describe you?
They would describe me as A party on wheels. I'm pretty spontaneous and I love making memories and creating memories and having fun. And I also have a serious side to me as well. And that serious side is giving back to my community and putting the time in and putting the energy to make sure that things are done well. And I couldn't do that alone. I do that with surrounding myself with good people. And that's why the Good Grief Coaching Girl was actually evolved into this, is because I wanted you to surround yourself with positive things. And so I'm hoping that the stories we share and the guests that we bring on and the expanding that we will be doing after you check out our website with all of the different newsletters and things will give you hope and inspiration.
What was the best compliment you've ever received?
I think the best compliment that I've ever received is that they've just told me that, you know, you're so real. You don't have pretension, and I love that about you. And I take that as a very beautiful compliment because it's taken time to get to this place, but I wouldn't change it for the world.
What was your first job?
My first job was with a chiropractor. And the cool thing about that chiropractor is that late Dr. Sinclair, he was a blind chiropractor. And he hired me at 15 years old with a friend of our late friend, Nancy, to help with the files. And I remember thinking, oh, this is really cool. But I was so amazed that Dr. Sinclair could do his job via his being able to feel, and he navigated that. And it really stuck with me. It was like a beautiful visual to see Dr. Sinclair doing his job and having me as a file clerk at that time. It was fun. I loved it.
What was your favorite memory with your father?
Well, I would say my favorite memory with my father is our favorite place to go is, I didn't share this yet, and it's on my website, you could check out some pictures, is that I love the ocean. The ocean is my happy place. It just fills me with fresh air and just hope. And my dad, not so much. And I said, Dad, you gotta come to the beach house, come on. And then he came a few times, but this one time, it was right before he passed, he said, Mia, I want you to get ready because I want my sister to come to the beach. And I didn't realize it, but my aunt had never been to the ocean. And so we made it happen. And I remember that day, my dad was so happy that he got to allow his sister to see the ocean. And that is my favorite memory with my father, because I think I rubbed off on him a little bit and he started liking the ocean.
All right, that's all we have for now.
Okay, well, it's been fun. I thank you so much for joining me today. And if you would like to continue this following, check out our website, because I'm offering a free gift to you today for being able to join our community. And I also will have updates of other things that we will be doing in the community. So please follow us on all our social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, also on Instagram, YouTube, and most of all, our website. I know that it's a busy day today and that everybody has things to do, but I want you to know that it means so much, so much. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I hope you have a beautiful day. Can't do, can do, so can you. See you in the community.